Welcome to Leigh Dickey TV. Hit subscribe to follow along with the fun. Now let's get on to today's video. My thoughts, a commentary on Sting in AEW. I give them to you next. Alright, so legendary wrestler Sting. Of course, he has had a career that has lasted almost 40 years. I think I read somewhere that he made his professional debut somewhere in about 84 or 85 and has been around the wrestling business ever since. Of course, he is most known for his tenures in the UWF, World Championship Wrestling, WCW, WWE, and TNA, like Impact Wrestling, right? He has been just about everywhere. World Wrestling All-Stars, on the Indies, you name it, he's probably wrestled for that organization. So today, I just want to give you my thoughts on Sting in TNA. Now, this is coming off his run in the WWE, which he was so reluctant to go to after the WCW buyout by the WWE in March of 2001. But he finally made his jump somewhere in, I think it was late 2014, early 2015. Like, he was at WrestleMania 31, which I think was 2015, where he faced Triple H and lost. They turned that into a whole WCW versus WWE thing with the members of the NWO and members of D-Generation X coming down to the ring to assist their respective comrades, or, you know, sort of participants in this match, if you will. DX with Triple H, and of course the NWO with Sting. It turned into this whole brouhaha. Unfortunately, Sting got hurt, I think, at Night of Champions in 2015 against Seth Rollins, if memory serves me right. I think he broke his neck or something to that effect, and basically hadn't competed in a ring for the rest of his WWE run until his contract ran out. And he signed with AEW. Now, I'm pretty sure, like, he's been around the AEW locker room, and he's been on AEW Dynamite and various AEW programs. I can't remember whether or not he had gotten in the ring recently, because I'm sort of in and out with every wrestling promotion that's out there. But from what I've seen of Sting, I like it. Like, it's a good little callback, him and Darby Allin up in the rafters. That's a nice little, cool little callback for people my age or even a bit older who remember that whole storyline with Sting and Hulk Hogan that lasted a year and a half from 1996 through the end of 1997, culminating in their match at 1997's Starrcade pay-per-view in December of that year. Now, I don't take issue with Sting being in All Elite Wrestling, being in AEW. I take no issue with Sting being used on the peripheral. Like, he's being used with Darby Allin as sort of a mentor, right? He's helping him out and kind of guiding him along. And then that's what they're doing with a lot of these legends that have been in the business 30, 40, 50 years or more. A lot of these guys are backstage producers or agents, if you will. And that's how they should be used. If they're not going to be used on camera, have them use their knowledge of the business that they've made a living in to help the younger talent start to form who they are in front of the camera. Tell them, hey, this is what you should do, or this is what I think you should do in order to get the reactions you are looking for. The Sting-Darby Allin partnership, like, it's cool, and like I said earlier, it's a cool little callback with them in the rafters to that, the whole Sting-Hogan thing from 96 that lasted all the way through the end of 97. I think it was about a year and a half storyline. The build was great. What you think of the match, like, I have an opinion on that, and I'm sure a lot of wrestling fans do, but that's for another day. If you want me to give my opinion on that match, let me know, or even the build of that storyline between Sting and Hogan, going from, say, early to mid 96 right through to the end of 97 in the whole Starrcade pay-per-view of that year. Let me know down in the comments. But the Sting-Darby Allin partnership, I got no problem with that. I mean, you got Jake Roberts involved, you have Arn Anderson involved. Dustin Rhodes is involved, albeit I think he's more of a backstage producer agent now. But I think, like, I don't necessarily want to see Sting compete in the ring anymore. Now, I'm not saying that he's not taking care of himself and that he's not in shape. I'm just saying that, like, he's been around a little while. He's been around a long, long time. And, like, I watched that match with Seth Rollins and Sting from Night of Champions, and like just watching him sort of crumple, after getting hit wrong or hitting the turnbuckle wrong and like breaking his neck or having something happen with his neck, it scared me, because even then I knew how old he was. Like, he was in his 50s, if not like pushing 50. The fact that he was still going in TNA at an elite level right up until he left and then went to WWE for a cup of coffee and had the match and feud with Triple H, starting at Survivor Series, I think it was 2014, and then, WrestleMania 31 in 2015, and then you had that match with Seth Rollins at Night of Champions in 2015. After he got hurt, I was just kind of like, okay, I think that's enough. Like, I know that we all wanted to see Sting and The Undertaker. That's a match that's been wanted by the fans for years. It just, okay, you don't always get what you want. It didn't happen. Fine. I don't think we need to see it now. Again, I'm not saying Sting doesn't take care of himself and that he's not in shape. I'm just saying that I don't necessarily want to see him compete in the ring anymore. I'm like, okay, if you want to use him as sort of a mentor and a manager, even as an on-screen sort of authority figure, I'd be all for that, right? But in terms of seeing him as an active competitor in the ring, and I'll say this till I'm blue in the face, I'm not saying that he doesn't take care of himself, right? That he doesn't physically look like he can go. Sure, maybe he can, maybe he can't, but I just think, that Father Time is kind of catching up with him now, and it's like, look, thank you for all you've given the business, but can we just keep you on the outside? Can we keep you on the peripheral? Can we keep you in this managerial role for Darby Allin? Can we use you backstage as a producer agent? I don't necessarily want to see him as an active competitor anymore. Like, I love Sting, right? Sting, Flair, Sting in TNA, with Jeff Jarrett, Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, the Main Event Mafia, all those guys. It just, come on, like, we don't necessarily need that. Like, we can forget about the whole Sting Jeff Hardy thing from Victory Road 2011, because that's been talked about enough. If you don't know anything about it, go look it up, throw it in your Google machine, and you'll get to figure it out. But, Sting, Flair, okay? Those were legendary. Great American Bash 90. I think that's when he won his first WCW World title. Sting Hogan, or Sting anybody he steps in the ring with, right? Sting is sort of the NWA, WCW, TNA version, I think, of like Shawn Michaels, and the fact that he's still going today. Not taking anything away from any other legends, say like Ric Flair or Jake Roberts or whoever. It just, like, that is your measuring stick. You put Sting in a prominent spot no matter where he goes, and that is your guy. Like, Shawn Michaels to the WWE, Sting to just about everywhere else. Jim Crockett Promotions, the UWF, WCW, TNA, like, and I'm not saying that he's going to be pushed to the moon in AEW. I'm pretty sure that's not what they're using him for. It's just as a mentor role and a manager for Darby Allin to kind of just guide him along, which I like, but again, don't necessarily need to see him get all that physically involved anymore. And that's basically all I wanted to say. I don't physically want to see him get into the ring as much. I don't physically want to see him get into altercations. I mean, yes, be a manager, be an on-screen figure, use him in an authority role if you want to. Granted, I'm not trying to tell Tony Khan and the AEW staff what to do. I'm just a fan. These are just my opinions, and this is just a commentary. but I don't necessarily want to see Sting like as an active competitor, like get on the apron in a tag match or even in a singles match. And the way that this whole thing with Darby Allin is playing out, I don't even know. Maybe this is just speculation on my part. Are they going to split them up? Is this going to lead to a singles feud? I don't know. I'm just saying. But there are my thoughts on Sting in AEW. Well, there you go. There you have it. My thoughts on Sting in AEW All Elite Wrestling. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do comment, like, share, and subscribe right here to Leigh Dickey TV on YouTube. And listen to the audio form of this podcast on Pinfall, a pro wrestling podcast. New episodes, weekly, links down in the description and show notes for you all. Please do comment, like, share, and subscribe on your favorite podcast app and player of choice. Leave us a 5-star rating and review too if you would, please. And thank you. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, and wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Thanks again for listening. Thanks again for watching. I've been Leigh Dickey. This wraps up another video on Leigh Dickey TV, the YouTube channel. Again, please comment, like, share, and subscribe for more videos just like this one. Thanks again. I've been Leigh Dickey, and I am signing off. We will talk to you later. Please do take care, and we will talk to you soon. All right, Leigh Dickey signing off. Peace. Thanks for tuning in to Leigh Dickey TV. New episodes are available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Subscribe to follow along with the fun.